So hi everybody, thanks for tuning in again. Look, let's just really cut to the chase on this curing of emphysema. There really is only two options. To walk the medical pathway, and that is to accept what mainstream says, that there is actually no cure. They call it in fact, they don't even call it a terminal illness anymore. They call it a progressive illness. And they go about prescribing all sorts of kind of medications. Or you can take, be really caused in the matter for your own health and well-being, and approach it in a holistic fashion like I am, and do what's right for your body and do what kind of resonates for you. And look, I just want to share something with you. I'm going to be talking about cancer a little bit. How many of us, I'm fed up, right, with so many, we're losing so many lives. And what really makes me very, very annoyed is, there are cures out there for cancer, and our governments and pharmaceutical companies, are all over it. It's about money, it's about power and control. It's an absolute monopoly on our health, and I'm not going to be part of that. And you may be watching this and thinking, wow, who are you to kind of make that kind of choice and decision? Well, I've been there. I was diagnosed with cancer back about 20 years ago. I had ovarian cancer, malignant tumour is what it was, the size of a grapefruit, and my CA125 levels, which is a marker for cancer, were off the chart. And I said the same thing back then as what I am actually saying now, and that is no to the pharmaceutical companies, no to the drugs. And I went off on a mission, and I looked at natural remedies, and pretty much did the same thing as I am now with this new diagnosis. And look, the upshot of that story is after 4 months I had the hospital ringing me and saying, you know what, you're playing around with your life. And I thought to myself, well, damn right I am. And I'm just fed up with the drugs that they dish out and all the side effects, and and it's nothing is guaranteed. And so after 4 months of, look, I was doing all sorts of things, and taking all sorts of wonderful natural remedies. I was drinking this green stuff that tasted like absolute crap, but I did it knowing that it was the best thing for me. And I was working on all aspects, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual aspects of my body to get rid of this tumour. And after 4 months I agreed to having a laparoscopy. When you've got a lot of pressure coming down on you from mainstream saying, you're playing with your life, I actually agreed to have allow them go in to have a look. And I come out of the general anaesthetic the next day, and I said to the registrar, well, what's the verdict? And he said both ovaries normal, healthy and clear. Okay, so I like to think that I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to what is a terminal diagnosis or a progressive diagnosis, and my efforts to be free. So with this new diagnosis of emphysema, I'm approaching it in the same way. And look, it's not really for the faint-hearted. It does require you getting out there on the skinny branches of faith, if you like. And, it does require courage and a faith, and look, there's no atheists on a sinking ship. I'm very clear that I have a relationship with the God of my understanding, and you know what? That's my barometer. That's my barometer. The faith and hope is what actually sees me. It has me seeing the cup half full on these endeavours. I know that I'm not in this alone. I pray for guidance, to be quite honest, because there's so much out there. you know, when you start, you know, going into research and, you know, talking to people and Googling, there's just a wealth of information, and very, very well-meaning people, you know, want you to be doing this and that and the other thing. And, you know, there is a discernment around what is right for you. So I pray for that guidance. And you know what? I've had a tough couple of weeks, and in fact, you know, just recently, well, not just, well, last week actually, you know, I was having a pretty bad day. You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, and when I say bad day, I mean, it was just all too much, you know. You know, taking on board this emphysema and with the intention of, you know, curing it, that's a really big ask. And you know, I mean, I'm not a doctor, okay, and at the end of the day, you know, I've still got to, you know, make a living. I mean, I work for a charitable trust, you know, and you know, it's very stressful around financial sustainability, and you know, we're all about vulnerable children, and you know, making sure that they have the right you know, exit pathways out of what they're dealing with. And you know, it's I mean, I love my job, don't get me wrong, but I still have to get out there, I still have to pay the bills. I'm still a mum, you know, I've got an amazing 25-year-old, and you know, a couple of step kiddies, and you know, I'm a partner and a sister and a friend, and you know, there's still all of life goes on. There's still accountabilities, and there's still things that actually need to be, you know, done and addressed, on top of actually, you know, researching and dealing with emphysema. But you know, this particular day, I was thinking to myself, you know, will it be so bad to succumb to it really, and just allow it to kind of take over my lungs, and you know, and eventually die from it. And look, don't get me wrong, look, I have no issues with death really. In fact, you know, I kind of quite look forward to it, you know, knowing what I do know. And yeah, so I actually went into a deep sleep, and you know, I prayed for guidance. And when I woke up an hour and a half later, you know, it was late in the afternoon, and you know, I just kind of had this renewed energy. And you know, I went down to my computer and popped onto Facebook, and you know, right there on my news feed was somebody posted, a young man from the States had posted, you know, how I reversed my mother's emphysema. So I had a wee look at that, and you know, and look at what he had to say. I actually ordered the book, and got it only a couple of days ago. See that? Look how I reversed my mum's emphysema. And you know, I've read through it. I've had a quick look, and you know, the basics is, you know, I mean, what this book is mirroring back to me is that I'm on the right track. You know, he talks endlessly about the drugs that was given to his mother, who was at the age of 72 when she was diagnosed, had no issue with Alzheimer's, had no issue with migraines. And once all that medication started coming in, next minute she's having to take other medication for Alzheimer's, you know, other medication for migraines, and then the side effects of that, and then more medication. And you know, after quite a long time, he could just see that she was just going downhill very, very quickly. And you know what, these drugs were supposed to be helping her. So he decided to do some research himself, and you know, he researched over a period of 4 years, and you know, he made the decision that he was actually, because he was actually responsible for his mum, and he made the decision that, you know, he wasn't going to do it the pharmaceutical way or the medical way, and just started to look at things. And so in the book, you know, it confirms back to me that I am actually on the right track. You know, he talks about sugar, you know, removing sugar from your diet. Well, you know, I've kind of mentioned that before. I mean, sugar's a killer. I mean, they call it the white death. You know, disease, you know, it actually, sugar feeds illnesses in our body. I mean, if we remove sugar out of our diet and put nothing can exist in an alkaline body. And, you know, it comes back to that. It's very, very simple stuff, you know. Lemon and water, you know, to alkaline your body. I'm doing this. You know, apple cider vinegar is an organic. And look, I have no doubt that I'm actually on the right track. Big ask, yes it is. it's only been around about 6 weeks, massive improvements already, and I feel like I haven't even begun yet. Um, you know, I just know that, look, wake up, people. Our drugs that are prescribed through the pharmaceutical companies. On my research, what I've actually discovered is that the learning institutions, the universities are actually owned by the pharmaceutical companies, the ones that are actually teaching our doctors. And you know what? When I went to the doctor and he sat there and he said to me, you know what? I'm going to give you this drug and that drug and the other drug. I just went, well, I thought to myself, well, really, it's not his fault, I guess, because, I mean, as another human being, he's just passing on information that he's learned. And that's when I knew, and I just made the decision, no, it's not going to be that way, because that shit is going to kill me. You know what? So far, so good. Yeah, I just really wanted to get down and dirty around this topic, because, that's the reality, isn't it? I've had a guts full of seeing young people and older people die of cancer, and it's just so unnecessary. I mean, it took out, I mean, my brother died of it, and I've had it, I am living testament that an alternative approach to these things really is the answer. And I'm not the only one. There's a whole world of people out there who know this. It's our governments. It is we are kept in the dark. And I suppose the intention of this vlog really is just to say, wake up, people. There is another way, and I'm going to keep you up to date with what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and eventually I will actually do a vlog just on the foods that I'm eating and what I'm using. Things are a bit trial and error for me at the moment. I know that when I take some foods, I tend to struggle a little bit at night in the breathing department. When I eliminate that food from my diet and introduce something else, bingo, we're on the good track, and I will be sharing that with you. And am I excited about this journey? Well, hell yes. I mean, why am I laughing? Because there's a way out, because there is an answer, and just watch the space. And I just want to close this in saying, I've just realised I've been on this for 12 minutes now, and I mean, who's got 15 minutes to sit down and watch a vlog, right? So I like to keep these short. But if you're actually watching this off my Facebook page, just if you just kind of look up, I've given you some links to, I'll give you the link to the book that I've actually bought. And if you're actually watching this from YouTube, please subscribe, because I've had people come back and say, look, they're missing out on some of my vlogs. This is vlog number 9 now, and they've only seen 1 or 2. So you need to go into the YouTube, and if you're watching this, just down below there on the subscribe button, just click subscribe, and that will have you, giving access to all the vlogs that I'm actually doing. So in a mission to keep these things short, I'm going to finish here, but I will keep you updated around the foods that are working, and what I'm taking, and and this is with the intent of eventually I'm going back to the doctors. I will get another x-ray, and you know what, he's going to tell me both lungs normal, healthy and clear. Watch the space, people. Okay, see ya, bye for now.